Avant-Garde Quilt. This is our new quilt along that will consist out of 10 blocks, released 1 block a week to give you all some time to stitch. The stitch count is very low, so you will just need about an hour or two for each block. Let's hop to the tutorial to make this block. Welcome all embroidery friends to another Stitch the Light tutorial and learning a brand new technique you all will love, as it saves heaps of time and thread, and the result is a much softer project compared to traditional applique where a satin stitch is used on the edges. You will need, of course, a stabilizer of your choice. It can be cutaway, soluble or tearaway. I'm going to use a cutaway today. You will need a base fabric, and I'm going to use this cream tone on tone. Then use 7 colors. Choose any 7 colors or 8 colors of your choice, or even more if you like it more colorful. I'm using 7 colors ranging from blues to creams. And this is a great way to use your scraps. You don't even need to make all blocks identical, so be playful. You need batting. I'm going to use a thin quilter's batting called Loomtex here in South Africa, but any thin batting will do. Don't use too thick. Applique paper such as Heat and Bond or any brand available in your area. This is a hot melt applique paper. One side is paper and the other side has the glue that you will iron onto your fabric. Only 1 color of thread is needed. And then of course you need organza or tulle, and this is our secret weapon. And I'll show you a little bit later on exactly what we do with this. I'm using a grayish tint one. And then of course you need an iron. Let's just talk a little bit on the thread. I'm going to do the smallest block in the size today on this tutorial. So when doing small blocks like the 4x4, 5x5 or 6-inch blocks, try and use a thinner thread like a 60 weight instead of a 40 weight. It just gives a lot better results. The smaller that you resize a block, the more condensed the stitches become and the bulkier your thread looks. So by using a thinner thread, you don't have that problem at all. So go ahead and print your templates. It's included in your zip file. And then you can cut out your fabric shapes as I've done here, either by using your cutting machine or you can cut them by hand. For the straight edges, when you cut by hand, you'll see these are quite easy shapes, so you can easily just cut with your rotary cutter. When doing a lot, I prefer to iron the applique paper on a large piece of fabric, and then I just cut all the shapes of that piece of fabric. And you will see after you end up cutting all 8 pieces with all 8 colors with all the pieces, you can actually make 8 different blocks. So let's get started on making this project. Now first of all, hoop your stabilizer. Like I said, I'm using a cutaway, and go ahead and stitch the first step. So let's move over to the embroidery machine and we'll get started. You can go ahead and stitch the first step directly onto your stabilizer. This is just a placement line for your batting so that you know where to place your batting, especially if you're using a big hoop like I am. You can also move this design down and do 2 at once. That won't be a problem as well. So I'm going to now add my batting on top of my stitch guide that just stitched, and I'm just going to continue with the next step to tack down the batting. We will now trim the extra batting around the edge, and this is to avoid having bulk in your seam allowance. I don't recommend that you use a very thick batting because we are overlaying it with fabric. You need a thin batting to make sure that everything lines up perfectly. So please stick to a very thin batting. You can place it back in the machine. And before we start stitching, we're now going to add our top fabric. And make sure that you cover all the stitches that you can see. And stitch the next step. This step that just stitched will also be your trim line, so when your block is finished you will cut exactly on that line, and that gives you a perfect 1/4 inch seam allowance from your design, making stitching these blocks together and lining up different parts a breeze. You can continue to stitch the next step, which will be a guide for a fabric placement, directly onto this fabric. Let's move over to the iron board and I'll show you what we do there. Now I'm here on I've got my press mat right next to my embroidery machine, and I'm just lying my hoop on that, and I'm just going to take this first shape that I've cut out, and I'm going to place it inside that perimeter that just stitched. And then I'm just going to take my iron and give it a bit of a press. You don't need very long at all. The applique paper sticks quite well. So I'm just pressing and moving, and my piece is in place. You can see it won't come off. It's nice and stuck together. So for this specific block, we're just going to do this one, and because there are some different fabric going on top there, and this is just because this is a small block and these pieces would become very, very small for you to cut, so I decided to just layer these two on top. I'm going to place it back in the hoop, or in the machine rather, and you can continue to stitch the next step. We're now going to move back to the iron board to complete the puzzle, and then I'll show you the next step. The next step is really fun to do. I enjoy it so much, so I hope you will enjoy it with me. Now this is my block, and we've already attached the blue piece, and now we're simply going to go and finish building our puzzle. So I'm first going to start maybe with my little flower here in the corner, and I'm just putting it in place until I'm happy. And then I just take my iron and just press, and it's done. How quick and easy is that? And then we take the next one. And you might need to hold on with your tweezers, especially on the smaller ones. The bigger blocks is quite easy. The nice thing about pre-cutting your fabric is also you can mix and match and see whatever colors you like where, and see how the picture changes if you just change around some colors. And just imagine if you use a fabric with little faces and you've got a little different face on each of these. Maybe you're doing a wildlife quilt or something like that, and you have maybe a deer and a rabbit and something else, you know, all the different animals. How cute that would be. Or maybe different little ducks if you're making a baby quilt. Folks, just make sure that if you did use a water-soluble Vilene as your stabilizer, that you do not use any steam at this stage. Steam will dissolve your soluble and will make everything shrink up, shrivel up. So just be aware of that. We're now going to add our Organza. This is our secret little weapon that I'm going to add over, and I like to just either hold it while it's stitching to make sure that it doesn't shrivel up. This is quite soft. This specific Organza has a little shimmer in. I really like this, and the look that it gives the block such a luxurious shimmer to it, which I really love. So just hold on to it, or maybe spray a little bit 505 spray, or you can use sticky tape on the sides, and then you will stitch, the next step. Now the next step is the last step, and it's the quilting that goes over, and that will, the organza will actually prevent your fabric from ever fraying around the corners, coming loose or anything like that. But you will sit with these nice thin lines that makes it look like you actually hand turned all of these fabric pieces. But it's done in the hoop, and it's extremely quick and easy to do. Let's start stitching the quilting. I'm going to remove the hoop. And then I'm going to use my rotary cutter and line up my ruler right there on the line that's stitched in the third step. And I'm just going to trim it directly onto that line. And there's your block. You can see I've made quite a few because I just want to show you a little bit the different combinations that you can get with these blocks. Now I've stitched, I'm just going to use 8 for now. So let's start with 4 blocks, and let me just zoom out a little bit. So you can first of all, for your first one, make a full circle. And of course you can have 2 circles next to each other, or just your whole quilt. If you're going to make a quilt or a bigger piece, just make loads and loads of circles. Even that would look quite amazing. As you can see there, it makes me look, think of a dartboard. Now just imagine this can be a wall clock as well. So you can make your 12, your 3, 6, 9, and then all your numbers in between. So you can make a beautiful wall clock from this, if you wish. Apart from, let's start with that circle in the middle, and then I'm just going to make like a, maybe you can make a placemat by just turning your circles inward. Let me see, that way, yeah, that way. So that's another beautiful pattern there. And of course we can just turn these around, and then you'll get a different pattern. That's a possibility. And then let's move maybe these around. So we have the flower in the center. Now remember, this white will go away as soon as it's all stitched together. So that's another pattern you can do. You can now turn these and have them all go that way. And that's a different combination again. So be playful, folks, and see what different layouts you can create using these designs. And you will be amazed at how fun it is to just start playing with all these shapes. Let's see, maybe make a circle there, and then maybe mimic on this side what's happening there, and maybe that one. I can play for hours and hours with the different options. I really like that. What do you think? It makes me think of apple quilt pieces. So yes, folks, be playful and see whatever you can come up with. Now, why did we use the organza if the quilting and the applique paper is already keeping the pieces in place, you might ask? And why are we're not using the satin stitches or maybe a decorative stitch on the edge to keep the fabric down? Although the applique paper keeps the fabric in place, after a few washes you might see that it will become loose, especially pieces and little corners where maybe the thread or the quilting that you've placed on top did not catch that little part. And I don't know you, but I don't like things coming loose or unraveling on me, especially after a few washes. If I make something and it's pretty now, I want it to stay pretty for quite some time. So the organza keeps that from happening, and your project will be stunning for years and years to come. Some stitches, or satin stitches rather, when we add that, it needs to be about 4 millimeters in width to 5 millimeters preferably, because not everybody can cut as close to the stitches, depending on what scissors you're using. So on the bigger blocks like this size, the satin stitches will be okay. It will be fine, but now we're moving to a smaller piece like this. Now you can imagine having a 5 millimeter satin stitch around this triangle. You might as well just leave the fabric out. So you're losing all that detail. And this block will just look like one satin stitch after the other. So why do applique at all if you're going to do that? With this method, you can do tiny blocks like this, create beautiful quilts like these without the satin stitches, but have a stunning quality design. So I really urge you to give this method a try. I know you will love it. It's easy to do, it's quick, you save a lot of time, and you save a lot on thread. And we know how expensive thread is. See the magic, experience the fun of learning a new technique while saving you valuable time and thread. These blocks are so versatile, as you saw from all the variations, and I now place a few more variations for you on Facebook, so where you can see what to do with these blocks, just to give you ideas. But I know you will be able to come up with loads and loads more. Now remember, this is a 10-week quilt along, so each week we will release one block. Now this was last week's block, and then we have this week's block that was posted. Rickard is stitching that one, so I don't have that block on hand here. And this will be your third block for the next week. Now, if you do the quilt along with us, do one block extra for me and just keep it separate in the biggest hoop that your machine can do. So I'm going to do the biggest hoop my machine can do, and this is the 11 by 2 inches files. So I'm going to do this, so I have a nice and big project to end with. You can, of course, by all means, if you want to make bigger blocks, stitch for me 4 of these then, and stitch them together to form your one block if you want to make larger blocks. So this can be your one block as well. So you don't need to stick to one corner. If you don't want to, you can do this as well, and we can work with that as well. The specific pattern we have in mind to show you uses one corner though, so yours might look a little bit different, but that would keep it interesting by all means. Now lastly, remember to subscribe to our fast growing channel for more stunning videos and new techniques, and remember to hit that little bell so you're notified whenever we load new videos for you to watch. Happy stitching till next time.